You and your viewers choose who can participate. Set a delay between messages. I don't know what that means.
It's closed here.
Okay.
I wanted to show who's on here too.
I feel like we can just talk our talk.
Yep, here's
because it can be posted later.
You post it right after.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right,
Technical difficulties.
All right, once we get like
situated
15.
here. Oh, do you want your phone?
For,
like,
what's going on?
comments
What's
and
going
stuff?
on? It's right there.
What's up?
What up,
How
Bunny?
are
What's
you?
happening?
Is that Bunny? No.
That's another bunny.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna let some people jump on. This is our first live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, other than the protest day.
Yeah.
That was our first live, but like this is our first.
Jumped up to 10.
live
What's going on, y'all? It must have let everybody at once.
I
Yo.
know. What is up, everybody? We really just wanted to have a change of pace and wanted to go live finally because I feel like we haven't done that since the protest, like we were saying.
Yeah. So shoot.
Hi.
12.
Hi.
We're gonna shoot for 20. Then
Mighty
we'll get to
Mojo.
going.
Rich Ralphie, what's up?
What's up?
Alive?
And we appreciate that.
Oh,
We're just trying to be
thank
ourselves,
you.
really. That's all.
Yeah, that's the vibe always.
Yup.
And talking about being ourselves. That's kind of what we wanted to talk about today, low key.
Yeah. We're gonna be all over the place. That's how lives go.
Yeah, honestly.
And then we'll do like a Q&A part. And yeah, man, how everybody doing this Saturday?
And thanks for joining us on a Saturday.
For
Y'all
real.
could be doing anything.
And y'all tapping in with
Y'all
us.
could be having drinks. We should be having drinks.
Shoot, it ain't but 7.
Right.
I would shoot for like 20, 25. We'll give this to like, when it starts at 7:05. Give everybody a
Aw.
chance.
That's so dope, Bunny. She said you encouraged
Man.
me when I left the JW. That's so dope.
We glad we can help. Honestly, everybody was helped by somebody, just like we would help
Yep.
by like XJW, Critical Thinker, Regular Pioneer, Lloyd Evans.
Yeah.
It's like some of the people we came across.
Man, I think back to whenever I was working as a tech in the hospital, and actually somebody who did help me was this doctor who told me, I told him I was a Jehovah's Witness, and he told me that I was real far into the woods. And I think about him all the time because I'm like, dang.
You think at once you wake up, people that drop little hints way before you was ready for them, and it's like, man, that's what this meant.
Yep.
Yeah. See for the glad y'all like our videos. Dang, we up to 39. We was thinking like, hopefully we get like 15 to 20 people to listen. That's crazy. It still shock us because we just feel like regular people. That's it. We just have.
We are regular people.
Yeah, like we just talk on camera sometimes, and it's just shocking that people like want to hear what we gotta say.
That's why I feel like everybody should make a YouTube channel. If that's something that they want to do, just start. Because even if you only get like a small amount of views, it can help one person, and that's all that matters. You know?
And what exactly is small views? You think about it. Like somebody might look at a video get 100 views, but count to 100. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's a lot of people.
It take you a while to get to 100. That's a lot of people. Or having 100 people sit in your room that want to listen to what you got to say. Like you got a packed house full of people that's listening.
Yeah, that's true.
That is a lot. All right, so we'll give it 1 more minute.
If anybody has any questions of us, definitely throw it in. If not, we'll just get into some topics that we wanted to talk about.
Shoot, we can ask them for some topics too.
Yeah, that's true.
What do y'all want to hear us start off with? Just give us a good one. We'll ramble off a topic, and then we'll pick another one.
Okay, that's
So start us off with one.
Miss Janine.
Miss Janine, what's up? What's up? She always hitting us up in the comments.
Miss Janine.
She clutch.
She be having all the emojis.
Does she? That's like a real day one supporter.
Thank you, self-love.
Reality TV is what's in.
Yeah.
We met at the hall.
No. Okay, let's tell the story. We
Okay.
just told this story today because we were actually shopping for a wedding suit. We get married July 25th, y'all.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. But you want to tell them how we met?
Yeah, we were cool on Twitter. That's what we was just telling to do. Like we got cool on there and chopping it up back and forth for some weeks. And at the time,
XJW Twitter was JW Twitter was a thing.
Yep. So at the time, it was like, I want to say I was about to be off work for Christmas, New Year.
Yeah.
So at that job back then, we would get 2 weeks off, or however long. Yeah, right before Christmas, and then we didn't go back until New Year, right after New Year. So I went to Atlanta 1 week. And I'd already told you, like, shoot, you only live a few hours over.
Yep, we were 4 hours away at the time.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'll stop past there and we'll kick it. And literally, like, from kicking it that weekend, like, we never
stopped hanging out. Literally from that weekend. I remember he came that weekend and I was like, are you going to come back? And he was like, shoot, what are you doing next weekend? And I was like, nothing.
And he was like, when you coming back?
I did not say that.
Yeah,
I said, are you? No, I said, are you?
You literally said when.
Dave,
and I was like,
I said,
next
are
weekend.
you?
Cap on the app. So
that is not cap. That's how he interpreted it.
No, we don't cap on this page.
I said, are you gonna come back? And he said, what are you doing next weekend? And he was like, I'll be up next weekend. And we've literally been dating since that day.
Yep.
Actually, he never asked me out, to be honest.
You demanded.
No.
Yeah.
No, it just became a thing. Why do you make it seem like I'm so dominant over here?
No, you just, but you know how it goes. But yeah, like that's kind of the story behind it. And that was the end of 2018.
Yeah.
Yep, appreciate it, y'all.
Oh, what's up, Lady Tina? We always see you in our comments.
Oh yeah,
what is up?
And you from Fort Wayne? I did not know that.
Hi,
That's
Ash.
right over. That's the Midwest.
Right.
Yep.
Where are you guys registered? What do you mean? Oh, like registered for gifts? We're registered on Amazon. I think if that is no, she's Owen said, where are you guys registered? I think like for gifts, like our registry. Amazon.
Yep, Amazon. I was reading the one right here from Day to Sea.
Right off Roswell Road, just between Buckhead and Sandy Springs. Oh, okay.
That's up the way some.
Yeah,
we just moved to Atlanta a few years ago. So we originally I'm from Ohio, babe was from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So yeah, we kind of new to the area. It's a hall around the corner from where we live at, and I flick it off every time I drive by.
So
do anybody else do that? Like flick off the Kingdom Hall when y'all ride by? Cause it's like, man, forget y'all.
He literally flicks it off every time, and he's like, babe, flick it off. I'm like, no.
Yeah, like, man, forget y'all.
That is too funny.
My husband never formally proposed. That is funny.
What?
He knew the vibes. Y'all was rocking.
That was us. Like we just ended up being like, okay, like our anniversary date is gonna be January 1st, but really it was somewhere in December. I don't know.
Yep, like right between.
None of that stuff really matters if you think about it.
Yeah, for real. It is one of the best cities in America that I've been to. Atlanta.
We were just talking about that in the car. We were driving through and we were just like, man, Atlanta is such a vibe because you can literally find your vibe, your tribe. It has everything. Like,
whatever you went to.
Yeah, all types of different communities. It has a pretty cool spiritual community here. Like, there's just
whatever you went to, they got it.
And it's
the
so
good and
diverse.
The bad. Yep.
And that's a lot different for me because I grew up in a small city in Pennsylvania called Oakdale. And so it was like, there wasn't much diversity. Like, it was literally, I was one of like 10 mixed kids in my grade.
I can't imagine that. And it was the opposite in Dayton. It was like, especially when we went to school, it was predominantly black, but it wasn't a lot of opportunity like Atlanta. Atlanta has so much stuff you can do.
Yeah.
We was just saying like concerts,
everything.
Comedy shows, like whatever you like, art, even like they got a Repticon this weekend, like the reptile exhibits where they sell animals like snakes and lizards. Like if that's what you into, literally whatever you into,
they have
you have it in Atlanta.
We're planning on getting a snake and a gecko, y'all. So we're pretty excited.
From Scotland, yo, you tuning in from way overseas, okay?
What time is it over there?
Right.
What's up? Aloha from Honolulu. Oh my gosh, we went to Hawaii, the big island, a couple years ago. That was really fun. I would love to go back there.
We gotta hit each spot out there.
Yeah, we do.
That was on our to-do list.
I'm out of state now for 15 years, but I was raised in Doraville, north of Brookhaven. Okay.
Okay, I heard of Brookhaven.
Curaçao's watching. What? Curaçao?
What?
Oh, we're gonna have to visit there. It's midnight in Scotland. Wow.
Dang.
That's crazy. We're doing good. We actually had a really busy day today. We literally woke up. I thought something was wrong with my car, so we took it to the shop. Then we went to the gym. Then we went grocery shopping.
Started at like 8 something this morning.
We've been up since 8, just nonstop. Just
Yeah,
nonstop
running
doing
around.
stuff. Yeah, a
But
lot
yeah,
of running
we
around.
made sure we got to do our live today at 7, like we said.
Right.
Yeah, from California. The Netherlands. See, this tripped me out. Like
That is
people want to hear this
dope.
from all over the place. And this is what's funny. You have the witnesses and the let me think of the polite way to put it. The witness.
He's not about to put it polite.
No, the witness scrotum holders.
See?
No, what I was thinking, what program progress in my mind was very ignorant. But the Jehovah's Witness scrotum holders, why do you speak so much about them? Blah blah blah. Why don't y'all just move on from it? But it's like, as you can see, people from all over the world tune in to a message because we help one another and we educate one another and we help heal from something that was just
Therapeutic
bogus.
place, yes.
Yeah.
Did it storm in Atlanta? Yes, it did.
Bad.
And it didn't last long. We were just saying it felt like a tropical storm, really, because it was so quick.
Yeah.
And then, boom, the sun was out. But it's been like that kind of all day. It's been
Shoot,
storming.
for the last 2 weeks, it's like every day the forecast it says something about rain.
Yeah.
And that's something like I haven't been able to wash the car in like 3 weeks because
Or cut the grass.
yeah, like cutting the grass, you got to cut it in between rainstorms. It's been like that, but it's spring. It's better than that snow we got not too long ago. So
Dylan
ain't
said
sure.
it's like an international convention in here. Period.
literally.
We love that. I feel
Try
like
to
we
catch some more. Yep, we caught those.
we did, right?
Yep.
Fort Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah, we caught a lot of those. But yeah, we were talking about how we met. And so they asked, did we meet at the hall? So no.
No. As a matter of
Kinda
fact, we were
bad.
both very spiritually weak at the time. And people ask us all the time, like, how are you guys living together? Because we weren't following the rules.
Like
We
most
decided
people,
to move in
yeah.
together.
Yeah, it was just like, at that point, we were mentally checked out,
Yeah.
but still believing in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And there was,
It gets like that. This has been raining literally every day.
90 minutes out.
Yep, so same thing down there.
Listening from Rwanda?
Rwanda, dang.
That is so dope.
Squeaky noise. Yes, it's this puppy down here. We about to take him upstairs and put him in a cage.
No, we're going to show you him. He got so big. But he literally, guys, he's not a
Violation.
black dog, okay? He's mixed.
For real,
That's
doing
why
all
he be
this
looking at
stuff.
people's faces. It's always him. He always brings us his toys, like, play with me.
In the
drop him
videos, a
down
lot
the
of
thing.
times we'll give him a chance, like, all right, you gotta chill. And if in the first couple minutes he not chilling, he gotta go upstairs in the cage till we get done. So, yeah, he entertaining us for now. 35. July 3rd, okay, Cancer Gang. TSA with myself, JW, social media.
And I always had a
Yeah.
problem with the blood doctrine.
We-
Yeah.
it was always certain things. That's something we could talk about too. Like certain stuff about Jehovah's Witnesses just was like, you were programmed to just I won't think about that because it's bad to think negative about it. But once you wake up, it's like everything comes full circle of what didn't make sense. Like I always thought about that. Like the blood thing was like,
didn't make any
I don't know
sense.
if I can really just give my life up like that.
For me, it was the disfellowshipping thing. I felt like that was literally inhumane. Like, how do you expect me to just stop talking to my friend just because?
Yeah, or even family. Like my mom is still disfellowship, been disfellowship my whole life. But it was never no plans of me not talking to my
Yeah,
mom.
that's ridiculous. I am pregnant. Hope my daughter and her husband come. Aw.
Oh, thank you. They'll be even greater, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
For real, you
you're about to go upstairs.
feel played when you look back, especially as an adult. When you look back, like I really feel for that stuff, and you be mad at yourself. But like we always say, if you knew better, you do better. So if we knew better, we wouldn't have fell for that stuff. So it happens. More importantly, we woke up. That's the best part. Like yeah, they got us for a little bit, but at some point we figured out that yeah, we can't be bamboozled no more.
And actually, in this space, what I've come to learn is that there are a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses who believe they have, like, you know, critical thinking and that they're actively doing this because this is what they want to do. And if that's their path, you know, it is what it is. Like, nobody's trying to take you off of your path. If you want to be a Jehovah's Witness, then do your thing, you know?
Yeah.
And we have this one commenter on TikTok. She's always like, you know, you should be able to decipher. She's a Jehovah's Witness, but she follows all of our stuff. And she's like, you should be able to decipher, you know, when they say things like, oh, don't be friends with worldly people, you should be able to decipher if that on your own. And it's like, But the doctrines that they push is like, don't be friends with worldly people, you know?
Yeah.
If you have the mind to be able to be like, okay, I'm just not going to follow that, then you're not fully following what Jehovah's Witnesses say. But if that's
Yeah.
how you get down, then good for you, you know? Like, I don't know what
Yeah.
else to say about that.
I'm an advocate of Jehovah's Witnesses not following all them rules 100% because they're not real. You should be allowed to talk to whoever you want to, regardless. Especially as much as they change the rules. Next week they have a doctrine complete opposite of what they've been making everybody follow for the last 100 years. So take it with a grain of salt.
I do see their rules starting to relax. I think that they will in the next 5 years probably be a lot more relaxed, more like other Christian groups.
DST said they are getting rid of the blood cards. Aha!
Because of legal issues.
That's interesting.
See?
All right,
Exactly.
see, we got to keep out for that one right there. Keep a lookout.
Greetings from South Africa. What's up, South Africa?
Oh, my husband, who is also from Dayton. Salute to them.
We love a Dayton man, okay?
Yup. I never had witness friends because my mom was single parent and I always had non-witness. That's good.
That's good.
Yup.
My mom used to let us hang out with some of the worldly kids and like play outside with them and stuff like that. But I remember what would suck is on Wednesday nights for the meeting. It was like
Dreadful.
and also on my study nights, like with my book study teacher or whatever. Yeah, those nights sucked. She'd be like, "All right, come in early."
Oh, what do you guys think about having a tattoo for when this person wants to get one? I got all of these
While you were a
while I was
witness.
a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay, to be honest, we were friends with a lot of people who like straddled the fence. But as soon as we started speaking out about it, then they didn't do no wrong.
They jumped
right?
on the other side of the fence.
Right. So a lot of them had tattoos. Like I knew a lot of the girls who had tattoos in places that you couldn't see.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get tattoos until after.
He was out.
Yeah. After
Yeah,
we were
I know a
done.
lot of Jehovah's Witnesses got tattoos, and it was just, oh well.
And also, there's no actual scripture in the Bible that says not to get tattoos. There's the one that says about the not to tattoo yourself, but again, it's in the Old Testament, which apparently we're not like they don't follow the Old Testament anymore, because if they did, then you wouldn't be mixing cotton with leather and mixing different type of fabrics. So
Right. It's one of them things that people just, I don't know. People do it, but like you said, it's not against the Bible, but it's against Jehovah's Witnesses rules. It's two different things. Like the Jehovah's Witness culture may not be
it's not true.
set in stone in the Bible. For example, like the college thing. They won't specifically say don't go to college, but it's against the culture, just like tattoos. It can stumble other grown adults if your tattoos are showing at a JW function.
You see, and that's the thing, and that's why we say it's so like congregation based sometimes as well, which they'll say, no, this is like an international thing, whatever, but it's not true, because even when it comes to like smoking weed, right? My mom, she asked the Bible study teacher, like one of the ministerial servants or elders, because she has like anxiety and stuff, you know, and she asked them like, what is the problem with like
Flower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. What's the problem with flour? And he basically had said it was a conscious matter.
And then another hall might say something else.
They'll disfellowship you for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yes. Salute from Philly.
Why? Who said that? Why are you gonna marry? Hold on. What you guys think about? Okay. Not being friends. Pass me up.
Trying to make
socially.
sure we get everybody.
Right. We're trying to be interactive, y'all. Why are you gonna marry?
When is that? When or why are we?
If it's a why, that's an odd question, but because
Right.
because we expect to be together long term.
I'm gonna
Makes
ask what's
sense.
that one right there? Coming back. I told him my reason. It was press play out of generic J. Yup.
Yeah.
This the sad part is they hope that eventually one day we'll come back, and they don't understand it's like Santa Claus. They can't wrap their mind around. Once you realize Santa Claus is not a thing, it's over with. Like there's hopefully one day you believe in Santa. It's done. Once you unwind the paper clip, you can't bend it back to the same shape. It's over.
Somebody asked what. Yeah, she did say why. Why are we getting married? What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
Right.
I don't think can you clarify your question? Like, what do you mean by why?
Hopefully the governing body has to testify. We'll see. Is there any court cases going on right now in the states with the governing body currently?
They're supposed to testify. Yeah, there is. Remember,
For real?
I think I told you about it 2 weeks ago because I wanted to look more into it. But they're supposed to be testifying.
The last I heard was in Pennsylvania with the elders.
I think that's the same one.
Yeah, is it that case?
I think so.
Okay. Aha.
Yeah, they got subpoenaed. Yep, I remember seeing that.
That's gonna be crazy. Like the Australian Commission was kind of easy to sweep under the rug because that's far away, but people here in the States kind of stumbled upon it. But something being in the States, yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
I'm glad you guys left. It took me 30 years and two attempts. Oof. Well, I'm really happy that you made that decision because I think mental health definitely goes down whenever you're in a cult like this. People pleasing. They are absolutely a people pleasing culture. They're always worried about what others in the congregation would think or feel. They don't want to.
In a stumble.
That is so true, and I think that's what it stops you from being able to be your authentic self. That was actually one of the topics we kind of wanted to touch on. Is that being in high control groups like that, it impedes on your ability to even find yourself. And we really feel like this walk of life and this journey of life, first of all this stuff is an illusion anyway, right? Like, so everything that gets programmed into us, it's like all indoctrinations, even as far as school, you know, like you go to school, kills your dreams, and it's to make you a worker. It's to make you an employee for the rest of your life. Sit down for 8 hours, you know, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it if you can recognize that that's what it is. You know?
If you choose that, you should give people the option to be like, do you want to have your own thing or do you want to help support somebody else's dream?
Yeah.
And choose from there, but to force everybody having kids at 5-6 years old sit down all day inside of a building for what?
Right.
Like kids are supposed to be creative and come up with ideas and be running outside and jumping. Yeah, but you strip creativity away from children and tell them, hey, you can't do that. Even like kids that may want to draw in class, it's not time for that right now. I remember kids getting in trouble for drawing. No, don't draw. Draw.
Yeah,
do that.
draw.
Make art.
That's the thing. It's like, I think that kids are more close to divinity because even the way that they are in general, like you see a child and they're always asking why. They tell you exactly how they feel.
And you're like, don't say that. That's not nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not until they get, domesticated, basically, like you become a domesticated human. Just like we domesticate animals, we get domesticated through all of these different sources: school, religion, politics.
That's facts what you pointed out about kids being closer to divinity. I remember, I don't remember, but I remember hearing the story. I was little, to where I was just learning how to talk. I might have been like 2. And the older sister.
Your memories go that far back.
My memory goes back to 1996.
That's crazy.
But it was somebody that spoke to me, and I didn't want to speak. And my mom was like, speak. No, say hi. And the older sister told my mom, like, like, if he don't want to speak, he don't have to.
Yeah.
And that's, think about real life. It's people that you don't want to fool with. And you don't have to. And it's the same. Kids are more like, no, I don't want to deal. I ain't feeling you. But it's rude to be like that, in society.
Yeah.
Yep.
And think about even in the religion, especially Jehovah's Witnesses, just like somebody had brought out, everything is about everybody else. So everybody else is getting put forth. And then also, don't even think about being a woman on top of it. You already have this nature to put everybody before yourself. And so that just makes it even stronger to where it's like, okay, everybody's opinions matter.
Jehovah's other yourself. That's what they taught. Jehovah first, then not you quite yet. Others, and then you. Man, you done poured everything else into everything but yourself. So no, that's not good. That's not good for self-love. There's no self-love inside the organization.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? What's the scene?
Oh, she said, because you are nice together and it's not necessary, or is it? I understand you want to be together. Oh, okay. So, like, you mean like our ideas about marriage. I think a lot of people believe that, if you are not a part of a religion, that you shouldn't get married because that's like a God binding thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's more than that. And I think it's also another indoctrination. Like everybody
Yeah.
gets told, you know, they have to, like,
You have to through that.
they have to get married type of thing, you
Mm-hmm.
know? But I think it does make sense in other aspects. Like if you're pairing your life with somebody, financially,
I was gonna say,
energetically.
and also like with children, I think of that.
Yes, with
having that
kids.
with kids, like that's something better to grow up with in the household, in my
Yeah.
opinion, than because I grew up with the mom's house, dad's house thing, like, and
Yeah.
that's not recommended. I wouldn't recommend that lifestyle to nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it creates kind of this like almost you have to be accountable for your relationship kind of a thing. I don't know. I think marriage is important still, and I think it's something that people should still be open to and wanting to do.
If that's what you want to do.
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and some people will rather just live together and call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we have like LLC, we have business together, so all of those things, it just all combines. Hi, everybody. I had to buy a field service car instead of the one that I wanted.
The person put it. That's funny about Sam. You know what? They are gonna have to find. I wonder what dude gonna look like.
I'm thinking more than just a token black guy.
I'm thinking like Wayne Brady type of Tom from the Boondocks type of character they gonna have next. As
Uncle
like
Tom.
yeah, Sambo. That's the phrase for it. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a black dude with no mustache. This gonna be the next.
But the governing body, they need more than just the white guys. You know what I mean? Like they should have a woman on there. They should have an Indian man, an Asian man, like people from different cultures and walks of life. I think it's so robbing of people to just put people from one diversity group, you know?
And you know why? It's because they ain't got to.
They don't.
Because who gonna say something?
It's a business.
Yeah,
at the end
it's
of the
no
day.
different than any other business. And it's basically we rich and we do what we want to do and get with it or get lost.
Yeah.
But if you get lost, you're not allowed to talk to the people who ain't getting with it. So they literally can do whatever they want to do.
Literally.
And Jehovah's Witnesses are so indoctrinated that they don't. That's not a red flag to them. And you wouldn't dare speak up about that or ask anybody because that's taboo to be like, how come we only got Sam Hurd and he didn't get there until the late 90s? What's that about?
Yep.
Like, you don't think of stuff like that.
I think even Jehovah's Witnesses need to just follow their dreams because look at the famous Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, they literally can do whatever they want. You got Christy Sarah out here. She's going to the BET Awards and all of these. Like, she's following her dreams and she still considers herself a Jehovah's Witness. So, like, but it's easier to control people whenever they don't have certain things.
Yep.
Sorry, guys, we're catching up. That was that. I can't unsee what I see now.
Thanks.
I'm 27 and close to moving out. I'm mentally ready to go, but as I'm getting closer to physically leaving, I start getting nervous. It's
We got
scary.
you.
That's
we got
scary.
you on that one. This is my advice that I give people. It's when you leave, you battle the guilt of letting your family down and living your truth. And don't feel like you have to explain yourself right away on why, or even if you are leaving this organization, if you're not ready for the backlash yet, you don't have to say, I don't believe in this, I ain't doing it no more. You can simply just use I'm tired. You can be very vague on what's going on, but you know what's going on. If you want to move out and not make it to meetings, I'm working.
Yeah.
But you don't, especially the elders make us feel like we owe them an explanation on why we missing meetings or why we not commenting or why they ain't seen this. And once you get over that hard hurdle, realizing you are nobody, you start to understand, like, you know what? I can live my life, but I don't have to give everybody explicit details until I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely one aspect of it is like the mental part of it all, but like the physically moving out, there's a lot of stresses that come with, going from, say, living with your parents to being out and about on your own. And I think one thing to help you prepare for that is to get yourself financially ready as much as possible. Have an emergency fund, have at least $1,000 like disposable income that you can just put to any kind of emergency that comes through, because for some reason As soon as you start saving money, something happens to your car, something happens to whatever.
Yeah.
So, and create a budget to make sure that the bills that you have are things that you're going to be able to pay for. And I think even just taking care of that part can relieve a lot of that stress. And then you have to go on to like the harder parts of the mental aspect of it, the emotional aspect of it, the spiritual aspect of it, the journey of finding yourself, all of that.
And most importantly, take your time. There's no time limit on transitioning through life. Like, I need to be woke up and explain myself by next week. Take your time, save up, take your time with that. When you're ready to move, when you're ready to talk about it, everything is on your timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do it the best way that works for you, that works for self, and nobody else can tell you what works for you better than you.
And it's normal to be nervous about something like this because you're in a new, like, uncomfortable part of life, right? But I think the more used to you get being uncomfortable, it makes it easier whenever you face different challenges in life, because we talk about this a lot, but like we always compare it to like a pendulum swinging, or you might hear it as like the ebbs and flows of life. So things, even whenever they're up, you don't have to think about the down, but that's just the natural flow of life, is like there will be a down, and whenever you're down, just know that there will be an up, and if you can program your mind to continue to think that way, that these things are temporary, then it lets you face these challenges, I think, a little bit easier.
Yeah, nobody is immune to universal law. So we all go through the ups and downs of life,
The pendulum swinging.
Yeah. Definitely.
What did it
We
say?
seen those.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay.
He admitted he occasionally drinks. I remember hearing about that in the brothers. Even the governing body said occasionally he has a drinks every day. You've seen him in that liquor store debating
this
if he
is
should go
interesting.
back.
I'm a weirdo. I'm POMI, disfellowshipped almost 9 years. There are a lot of good people plus family inside. POMI, so you're physically out but mentally in. Kind of explain that. Like, what do you mean you're mentally in? You still agree with the doctrines?
Debating if you want to go back. Break
okay.
that down to us.
Yeah, break it down. What do you mean by that? Like, is it the doctrines that you agree with, or is it because you want to go back to be with your family? PMO due to family relationship and the guilt. There's nothing wrong with being PMO, honestly. I don't think so.
You gotta do what works for you.
Yeah.
Like one person wake up and they bounce. I'm out. They make a big announcement. Hey, this is a call. I'm out. Another person, they sitting there like this in each meeting, smiling, but in their head they're like, man, that's some bull.
That is so true.
But it's whatever works for you, and it's on your own time. You might be PMO for the next 10 years, and one day be like, you know what, I'm cool on this. Or you might want to always be PMO. You have to do what works for you.
Yeah, we don't care to sway anybody one way or the next. We just know for us that doesn't work because it's out of like our integrity.
And we try to cover every aspect of everybody's situation. But do what works for you.
I have huge sense of loss due to my family shunning me. I feel like I'm mourning them. Any thoughts? Of course you're mourning them. You're mourning the relationship, the past relationship that you had with them. You're mourning your old self in a way, and that's not anything easy to get over.
Especially when it's over a lie. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
That it's like we're not talking over something fake, and it's just like, is this feeling like and it's like, what can I do?
Yeah, I
that's
think
the sad part.
It is.
I get it. Like, even I think about like I'm supposed to see my granddad when I go back home, and I know it's gonna be somewhere near a conversation.
Of course.
But I haven't talked to my granddad in forever, or other family members, like the ones that you notice they unfriend you off of stuff, and it's like all because of this. Like, we can't, and it's irritating, but at the same time, it's like, what can I do about it? Like, it's not their fault. They a professional group of people, of rich people that know how psychology works, took advantage of these people, and they don't know no better.
Yeah, and once you're able to look at it that way, you start looking at everything that way, because really all businesses, what they do is they take one of your weak points, human nature weak spot, and they exploit it. So that's what Jehovah's Witnesses have done. That's why the shunning works so well, because you're mourning the loss of your friendships and relationships that you had before. But I would say try to get with a group of people that you know, like you could have a new community kind of thing.
Good people, not Jehovah's Witnesses.
Who left me
They
there?
are less than 1%. Never go back. My dad threatened to kick me out because I didn't want to go to the hall.
That's crazy.
For real. That's a big thing. They threaten to kick kids out.
That is crazy.
Yup. It takes a lot to be considered grown. Yup.
Don't
Like
be
young
like
people and act like you grown. Moving your own. Facts. Take your time with moving out. That's something you always hear from older people.
What's up, Kat?
What's happening?
I have 2,000 in savings. That's awesome. That's a great start.
Just
Just gotta start looking for work and roommates in LA. Yeah.
And y'all got a big community out there. Shoot, y'all got celebrities as XJWs in LA.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a whole other family for years. He had a 5-year-old son with a worldly woman and had the nerve to cancel. That's
Hey, wait. We had an elder
Oh
that
my God.
was having an affair with a stripper. Uh-huh. Like,
with a strip.
yup. And broke the family up. But this is the stuff, like, just different elders that, because we put them on this pedestal. That's what it is. No different than celebrities. We take these titles and we make them inhumane. Like, they not capable of doing normal stuff. So it's surprising, like, when you start waking up and hearing this. But after a while, it's like, you know what? Outside of this kingdom hall, if you stick him in a room with 50 other random people, they all the same. They just human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the one major problem that I have with religious groups that try to make it seem like they're better than the next, is that at the end of the day, all of us are human. We all make mistakes. We all do things that, you know, maybe not are ideal, but it's the thinking that you're holier than thou that really irks my nerve, because it's like, no, like at the end of the day, that person over there who identifies as, you know, a Baptist or whatever is no different than you. That's the problem I
Yeah.
had with Jehovah's Witnesses.
That's
for
what
sure.
messes people up, because if we all sitting around in the room saying, I'm imperfect, I make mistakes, and then you got this person like, I don't do that. Now it's a spotlight on. Now we
Yeah.
all watching. Be like, all right, any moment now you gonna do the same stuff everybody
Right.
else do. So yeah, when a Jehovah's Witness messes up, like for instance, you have, you know, a job and you have a Jehovah's Witness that works there. Oh, such and such, he's Jehovah's Witness. He don't do this, he don't do that. Then the moment you catch them doing something, it's the talk of the town.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, I heard him and his wife split up, man. He was having an
Yeah.
affair.
Yeah.
You know, he a Jehovah's Witness. He said he don't do such a, but anybody else, it would just be like,
That's the thing.
All right.
Like that happened. You
Yeah.
know, that's what annoys me. Even with people who are like, my religion is the only one true religion. It's like, okay, you only think that because this is the religion that you know. You know, but if you would
Yeah.
go and study different religions, you would begin to see, I don't know how
it's very, they all
they're
similar.
similar.
Yeah.
You know, it's just I don't know, different paths to the same destination. I
There
feel
good
like.
people out in the world, in these worldly streets, for real.
Someone said, "What are we talking about?" Honestly, everything. Just keep up with the comments and
Yeah,
try
we
to ride
talking
with
y'all.
us.
Yep. But yeah, you see people. It's no different. It's good and bad people in the hall, but you are given the illusion there's good people in the hall, and there's bad people in the world. You got good and bad people in this so-called world, because there's not two different places. It's all one thing. The world is people. There's no separation.
Thank you.
Hey, what up,
Leo.
Aaron? Under an alias. What's going on, G?
Aaron.
Well, thanks for saying it.
Oh. Oh my God. Sorry.
It's cool. 33 on my own since 20. Yep.
I know a thing or two.
Salute.
Hi, Steven.
What's going on?
Oh.
Hey, I'm weak, cat friendly.
What did you say? Elder
Making it
Mickey.
rain in Magic City. And this is dating, so it was like, it wasn't really them kind of strip clubs. He was messing with some bottom of the barrel stuff. 20 removed from the organization. Still time. Found myself doing things. I'm like, still. It's like one piece at a time. And the thing is, when you notice, at least you notice it's things that you indoctrinated on, like, wait, I'm still doing that. Or even like, I called it the truth. That's not the truth. At least you notice piece by piece, and that's how you deconstruct. Oh my God.
fasting and praying changed my life. I have a relation. That is beautiful. You know, that takes discipline to be able to fast. Were you doing like a water fast or like a full fast, like a dry? What do they call it? Like the snake diet?
They recruits from the same bad word.
Have y'all lost any friends to in the cult? Yes, I have, sadly. And you know what? He was like my sister's like best friend, but it was literally just him and his mom. And his mom was like a super witness, like a pioneer in everything. They had gone through everything together, you know, single mom and then him. And a couple years back, he ended up, offing himself. And it's whenever we found out that happened, we were just like, are you serious? Because he had left. I think he had gotten disfellowshipped. So we kind of immediately know that was probably from the shunning.
Yeah. I remember.
Because he lost everybody.
Yeah, we had he was so cool. His name was Rujiko. He was Filipino from Columbus, Ohio. And I just remember it was the convention, and I didn't see his post until after the convention. And it was a long post, and he was going through stuff like his wife wasn't no good and stuff with. He had 2 little boys, but he was always smiling and encouraging people like, hey man, you working out. We call him Filipino Hawk. He was like real swole, but he was just always smiling. He had these 2 little curly haired boys. But he had did a long post just venting about like his marriage, and he ended up taking his life. And I tried to message him, but by that time I seen it was too late. But I always wonder now, like, was he going through waking up?
It could be.
You're like, you just never. You never know.
Mental health is so important, not just, you know, for ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, but I definitely think that adds another barrier that can erode your mental health. So trying to work on that as much as it's just so important.
Celebrate your disfellowship and screw them. You know what? I
like that.
Disfellowshipping is only real inside the Kingdom Hall. But in real life, if you think about it this way, I'm telling you that you as an individual, I snap my fingers and I grab a microphone and I say, you are no longer valuable in Jehovah's eyes in this organization, and you believe it. And it becomes reality. But we realize, like, when people say, are you disfellowship, or they'll say, I'm out. I'm like, shoot, you in. Who's to say you out? I'm out of, you not out, man. You living life.
Yeah.
They don't get to put a title on you because it's made up.
Right.
But at the same time, we are excommunicated, I guess, from our family. But don't let them put a negative title on us, like, even like the apostate thing.
I agree.
Never baptized.
I know one family, she was in her 50s and struggled with. There's a lot of people who are Jehovah's Witnesses who really struggle with mental health.
It's heavy in my family. The majority of my family struggle from bipolar disorder, and a lot of the root problems is the constant not good enough as a Jehovah's Witness, and it weighs on people's heads.
Yep.
And you realize a lot of the stuff you worry about is not reality of, you know, all right, I'm struggling with being what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, I'm struggling with being an all-out witness and striving and try to go where the need is greater and make sure I'm associating with all the friends when I'm not feeling good. You don't have to do that, but you're told I need to be associating. I need to be raising my hand. I need to be out in service. And when you're not living up to these everlasting standards, because the goalpost is constantly moved like this, you keep trying to run and catch up and they keep snatching it further back. It takes a toll on your mental health. And for a lot of these people, especially like in my family, they don't realize, if you realize this goalpost don't exist and you don't have to do this stuff, your confidence will go up. Absolutely. And that feeling of not being good enough, not being worthy in the congregation in Jehovah's eyes, that's not a thing. You have a million other things to put your attention to.
And I think another part of the problem is that you're constantly seeking external validation on, okay, this is what makes me good enough. Me hitting this many hours in service is what makes me good enough. Me giving this talk is what makes me good enough. And that's just not true. Like, all people are valuable just exactly as we are, you know, and if you can find that validation internally, then everything else on the outside doesn't matter.
No, nothing is good enough as a Jehovah's Witness. Even if you're an elder, you could be doing more. Yeah. Too much.
About simple things like celebrating birthdays or 4th of July. Listen, we celebrate things not even for its actual roots, just because we want to, because who cares?
See, think about this. The organization is typical of baby boomer behavior. Yep. the show of perfection. But you know what? And that's something I talk about, not even in religion like that. A lot of the older generation is cause I said so generation.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions because I said so, and don't speak on stuff that makes people uncomfortable. No, talk about that stuff. You allowed to, and you are shut up by a lot of the older folks the same way you are in these cults.
And you should be able to ask questions because the questions are valid at the end of the day.
God is in us, not on the outside.
Yes,
Exactly.
true.
As long as you're searching for something outside of you, I tell you the treasure is in your pocket, or I'm sorry, if the treasure's in your pocket and I tell you it's in the backyard, you'd be digging forever looking for it. The whole time it's in your wallet, but you would never look there because I told you it was elsewhere.
Yep.
That's what that stuff comes down to.
And the deeper you dig within, it's like the bigger you realize that you are, and also smaller because everybody ends up being connected. Really.
Ruby said the new JW kids are gonna run it to the ground. I'm here for it. Facts.
Period.
We said the same thing. They got access to too much information.
I agree.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, we read your comments, Des. Really sorry about that, but please just know that you are valuable. Please stay with us. There is so much good that can come from this life, and also just taking moments to appreciate small things. An attitude of gratitude can take you so far, and it's okay to process negative emotions too, anger, sadness, all of those things. There's nothing wrong with processing them, but at the end of the day, even admiring small things, like for me, it's sunsets, it's the sky, it's the sun coming out every day, and those are things that come every day that you can appreciate.
And especially 23 is so young.
23 is so young.
Everybody has a purpose in life. We are here for something, and sometimes we don't know what it is, and that's part of the journey, is searching for it. Unfortunately, we typically express happy emotion. That's the norm.
Yeah.
It's normal to look happy and show happiness, but we were given multiple emotions for a reason, but we kind of shy away from expressing the other ones. Like when you down, man, I ain't feeling it right. It's okay to be like that, man. I ain't feeling it today.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like this, and try to understand why you feeling like that and get to the root of it. But
don't stay there.
yeah, what do they say? It's all right to ride the waves of emotions, but don't drown in them.
Oh,
and we
my
all.
God. Oh, okay, babe.
That's what my mom
babe.
said. And we all mean something to somebody in ways you don't even realize it. Like for instance, you might have a favorite grocery store you go to every week, not thinking nothing of it, but it may be a cashier that you brighten this person's day up. They going through something, but when they see you and the energy you give off, you keep them going, and you don't even know it. And then say something happens to you, and they're like, man, I wonder what happened to that one person. You don't even realize you had an impact on this individual, but you do. And you never know, it could be a coworker. People that you just come across in everyday life. Like you mean something to way more people than you think. And you being here is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And find what your fuel is. Like for us, we're obsessed with knowledge. We're obsessed with learning things, and that helps us expand our mind and be more open to other people's perspectives and to their walks of life. And I don't know, it's really helpful because it gives perspective in your own life as well.
And you're allowed to learn whatever you want to learn.
Yeah.
This fellowship them. That Uno reverse card on the witnesses.
Period.
Yeah.
The hell with Watchtower, period. So.
Facts. I don't know, this thing, it's going to be interesting seeing what's going on with these court dates, too. This is the thing, witnesses don't know nothing about them. They only know about the persecution that they hear about with being sued and stuff like that, with going out and preaching to people and trying to be stopped. That's all they know about when they hear court cases. But the real ones going on, like they have no clue this stuff is going on. I didn't.
Nope. They don't know.
Still here.
Oh, the dog wants to play. He does all day. He's a Yorkie. He's so hyper.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad you're still here too, for real. And even your comments right now is inspiring somebody. You just never know. Yep, lost my grandfather. Yep, my grandmother battled cancer following them stupid rules, and that was like a starting point for me. Realize like, you know what, she did everything she was supposed to do for this organization, and this Jehovah didn't save her. So what's really going on? Are we into astrology? I'm starting to get interested. Uh-huh.
Definitely. We're
Yeah.
into kind of everything. There's nothing really to be skeptical about. If you go in and you just learn about it. Just from you learning about something doesn't mean you have to follow it, right?
True.
So even when it comes to astrology, just because, okay, say your sign is saying something, it doesn't mean that that's all you have to be, but it gives you an idea of like what your tendencies might be, you know?
Yeah, that's something that they told us as Jehovah's Witnesses is don't look at certain things because it may make you this way or it may take over. And in reality,
take over.
that's what they will always say, like, don't walk into a church because it'll make you this. Don't go to college because this could happen. Don't, you know what I mean? It gave you this illusion that you are not in control of your own thoughts and actions. And so
You're in control.
Something that I learned now is I just ordered all these books off of Amazon, like Osiris, Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust, How to Make a Negro Christian, just Black Root Science. I got all these books of just different types of information, and I read it with an open mind. And I'm going to believe everything in this book because I'm looking at it. I just want to know what it's talking about.
Right.
And then go from there. And I encourage everybody, just learn whatever you want to learn. You don't have to believe it, but listen to it because you don't know what you don't know.
Observe it. Just see if that's something that if it sparks something in you or feels right, you know. Talking about astrology is so funny because him and I are exact opposites in the astrology chart. Like he's a Cancer and I'm a Leo. He's a water sign, I'm a fire sign. He's ruled by the moon, I'm ruled by the sun. Like we're exact opposites. So it is kind of interesting to just look at them.
Yep. And then you notice a lot of the certain people around you, you realize like you may be the same sign. Like I got a lot of water sign friends. It's like, we was always cool, but now looking at astrology, like, well, no wonder we so similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A cat said her dog's name is Biscuit Jamal. That is funny. Yeah, there are no limits to learning, and it's such a dope process. Like, this is what we're here for in the human experience.
Will you read any of your books, live or videos?
Ooh.
We could do that. We got some. We got some.
We got some books.
Yeah, okay. We got some books.
One of my favorite books was called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and it's one of the books that I read like in the early journey of waking up, and that was an enlightening book for me because it taught me to bring in to be present more often, and it had some comparisons and principles to the Bible, so it was an easy one for me to kind of relate to, but it was hard to understand for me at that point.
Forrest the Quan.
My daughter's stuck. You guys have some funny names.
For real.
Y'all believe in the Illuminati? Kind of.
I believe in the higher
somebody controlling this system.
Yeah, like I call them folks. That's what I call them. Them folks or them people. Controlled by them people.
Honestly, I haven't done enough research on it, but I could definitely see it being true.
I call it the higher ups.
But you know what, though? Here's another aspect of it. You know how in the Illuminati, it's the all-seeing eye and then the triangle, right? So the triangle, when you learn about spirituality and things like that, it's like the 369 thing. It's the triangle is like a symbol of like manifestation and different things like that. I don't know how I feel about it. I would have to look more into the Illuminati to see
I believe I don't put that title on it, but there are people in charge.
Ruling this system for sure.
That's what I call it. You have people that control everything.
Yeah.
Now who are they? That's the mystery of life.
Yeah.
Or are they even people? Like I don't limit myself to just believe in one thing. I ask questions, especially if there's no answer to it. We were just talking. I'm like, well, what if it's this?
Right.
Like, one of the things that people argue over, because I like to kind of look at things from the outside like this and watch people debate. When people talk about, is the earth flat? Is it round? It's round because of this. It's flat because of that. Right. And I'm like, hey, how we even know we on the earth? Like, that's me. I'm like, I ain't never got to step outside of the planet and look down and see if it was round or flat. Like, all I know is I'm either on the ground, in some water, or on an airplane looking at the ground. But other than that, I've never been high enough to see, and I have not seen anybody be high enough to look and see. Because if you look up pictures of the earth, it's all cartoons and literally.
Like AI.
Yeah, it's like AI. If you Google right now on images, satellites in space, and every last one of them are gonna be like a cartoon or like something drawn on the computer. It's no real pictures of satellites or of Earth. So I'll be like, well, I don't know what this is.
I don't know what it is.
And nobody has an answer. So I question literally everything.
Are there dimensions? Are there realms? Is there an ice wall? I don't know.
Yeah, even like the afterlife thing, like as far as what happens when you die, we got ideas, but it's just ideas. Everybody got nah, this is what happened.
Right.
You gonna do this, or you gonna come back into paradise. Who knows, man?
Yep.
But it's fun. It's fun having these conversations.
And looking at different theories for sure. The newer theory is that it's flat, but like a dome. Yeah, like a firmament. Yeah, we've seen those. Didn't Jesus say to his disciples that they would do greater things than he? He wasn't talking about preaching or promoting. Exactly.
Right. You know what he was talking about? He was talking about the things Michael Jordan was gonna do on the court. Jesus ain't do none of that. Nah.
I saw, you know what was a crazy thing that I saw was like with all of this AI happening is that like, you know, humans are actually gods and that this is like a cycle that happens and, you know, we continue to create intelligence, artificial intelligence, and it keeps on getting better and better, and then they're able to create like look at what humans have been able to create. They've been able to create a replica even better than the human mind, really, because it tracks everything that you do. So I don't know, it's just kind of crazy to view things that way.
It's like all the movies we've seen of creating robots and them taking over and they go and do it anyway. Or unless this stuff already been around and they just show us piece by piece. Who knows? I don't know about the afterlife, but I'm getting it. In it for this life. And you know what? That's how it should be, because we focus so much on something that we can't grasp or see that we missing out on right now. Like, no, worry about that stuff later. And that's something you hear from a lot of people in religions. They'll be like, well, I'm going to do this just in case. Well, you don't even know for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, live your life.
All we know for sure is that we have this present moment, you know? So why not make it the greatest that we can?
There's a reason they took away your identity. I was just talking about this. So this is, I don't know if y'all are hip to this, but this is something I was reading yesterday in this book, Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust. And I was telling Babe, it talked about how like during colonialism, the reason that the Africans here in the States are so lost compared to the islands and the Caribbeans, it would be like a bad investment. You get some slaves and you broke, so you sell them and you split them all up. You send some here, you split the families up. So there goes your heritage, your traditions, your beliefs, culture. You lose everything. But in the islands, they kept family together, so they were able to carry on traditions. And so when you go to Jamaica or DR, Puerto Rico, different areas like Brazil, different areas in the Caribbean and other countries, they still have old traditions. But here we just like, shoot, my great-grandma come from Louisiana, but that's all I know. Yeah. Come from Mississippi, that's all I know. So it was purposely like that to strip away our identity and give us a new religion and tell you, nah, we actually got all of y'all from over here on the boat. They're not going to tell anybody, you know, y'all was actually here when we showed up.
This is such an uncomfortable conversation for some people, but the way that Christianity has swept through the world is insane. And by the means of how they did it, you know, like
violence. Yeah,
violence, you know, threats, and saying if you don't stop doing this, then
this is what we're gonna do.
This is what we're gonna do to you. Yeah, and saying that their gods were demons and all of these things. But if you look back at one of the oldest one of the oldest documented religions is Hinduism, and some of their beliefs kind of make sense. It talks about like different entities and things like that, but still being able to meet the same path.
Facts. You can't serve the same thing as your oppressor, especially if they get the benefits and you don't. My wife and I stopped going. I'm glad. That's dope that both of y'all got to leave together. That's something we always come across.
Happy to be here, wife and I stopped. Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
JW Apostate Family. I like that name.
Bingo.
Became the metaphor about
if you even like if you can move mountains, that's not taking literal like moving mountains, but it's the manifestation of this here that you can create things bigger than life just by believing, you know what, I can do this. But it sounds crazy to other people, like, you know what, you could take a person like Kobe Bryant that man, I'm this high school kid, but I'm gonna be the best dude in the league. And people are like, man, who is this little dude, man? Who we think he is?
Right.
And then little by little, other players are like, that was the one dude that we couldn't mess with on the court. Like, he was unstoppable.
Yep.
But it all starts with that mindset of everybody else going, you can't do that.
Yep.
But you being like, I don't know how it's gonna work, but I know I'm about to do this.
Yep.
That's what that comes from.
It almost takes a level of delusion to believe in a bigger picture that nobody else can see, but you can see it.
That's why it's called your vision.
Yeah.
I can't see out of your eyes.
Yeah.
Nobody
Or
else
in
can
my
but
head.
you. Yep.
Interestingly, Buddha's parents were Maya and Gautama, making me think that it originated here and migrated eastern.
Oh, that's interesting.
Maybe.
That's something to look into.
The
Yep, the
mind
mind
creates
creates our reality. Yep.
Yeah, live in the now. Okay, come through with all the quotes, y'all. Period.
You got to.
You have to live in the now.
Because
really,
everything
that's
else
all we have.
Yeah, the past and present isn't. I'm sorry, the past and future is an illusion. It doesn't exist. It's all here. So
Yeah.
the past, you can't even recall every detail of the past because it's not here. It's gone. The future doesn't exist. It's just an idea. But right now is the only thing that's real. The present. But ironically, this is going to become the past. Something old that will no longer exist.
Yeah.
And this was also the future at one point. But we couldn't predict exactly how it was going to be because it wasn't a thing. Only thing that's a thing is this, today, now.
Yep.
Yep.
Hello, Sai. Just tuning in. Lots of propaganda in the USA and with all religions too.
We'll claim
Yeah,
to
and I
have the
agree.
truth, obviously. Uh-huh.
Well, claim to have the truth. Obviously, if all practicing those religions don't have that belief,
Yep.
but those are two religions. Oh, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And they're also two of the newest religions. That's something very interesting.
Yep.
Both of them also took from Judaism.
Mm-hmm.
You are so cute together. I enjoy your chant. Thank you, Sophia. I still have hope they will wake up. I think they will.
Uh-huh. You never know.
Yeah, lots of crazy stuff happening.
We call it now the present. It is the present. Enjoy life and in love.
Yes.
Yep. That's all you can do.
Enjoy your present life. I agree.
Oh, thank you. That's how, and you know, something we always tell people is learn, if you're going to be with somebody, learn things to make y'all work as a team. This literally that simple, like become a team and you do what's beneficial for the team, just like in sports.
Ooh.
Like it's the same thing. You
Okay,
when you
babe.
playing on the team, y'all trying to win. That's the whole goal. So if I feel like I'm good at shooting shots and you good at catching rebounds,
That's what we go
we gonna
operate
work.
in.
Yeah, we gonna work on that.
Yeah.
Yep. So and then if it's a wide open shot and you got it, I'm not gonna, or you not gonna be like, well, I don't shoot shots.
Right.
And we lose the game. Man, we got 3 seconds left. You got the ball. It's wide open in the rim right here. Shoot it. Or you catch rebounds usually. And the ball is rolling right to me and I'm going to just walk.
Oh,
let
I don't
it roll.
do that.
Yeah, I don't do that. That's
Right.
no, like work as a team so y'all can win. That's all you got to do. And learn the opposite. That's something we'll talk about on our next live. You have to study the opposite gender. I've been a man my whole life. I only know how the mind of men work. It wasn't until I started reading books like The Way of the Superior Man
Ooh.
and the 5 Love Languages. It's like, I would never think nothing like that. That's wild. But
women and men operate differently, and we
and
were
it's supposed to
wired
be like
be that way.
That's what's wrong with society is how come men could do this and women can't? And how come women could do this and men can't? Because you ain't
we're
supposed
different.
to. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's supposed to be different to work together. It's a positive and negative in your remote batteries. And the remote batteries don't go in the same. They go in like that. One is
Opposites.
upside down, one is this way, and it makes the remote work. That's how life is.
We are very opposite in some of our qualities, but in I always say, like, in ways that you are really strong, I'm weak. So you kind of fill in the gap there and allow me to elevate in those ways. And then same with the opposite, and it's pretty dope seeing you grow, babe. But
Likewise. That's how it's supposed to be though.
yes, people need to be friends first, and a team equals a good marriage. Good advice.
Yep.
I used to think you guys had sound effects on your videos until I realized it was a parrot. We have a parrot and a freaking squeaky dog that always wants to play.
Stop. We're gonna hang, Chewy. Once we finish this, we almost done.
Des, I'm talking to y'all like we friends, and I never knew your names. Oh, I know. We never say our names. I'm
We don't-
Lexi.
I'm Jamin.
Yeah.
Or Juice, either one.
Hi. Do you plan on Of course.
Yeah, when it's
we can't
time.
wait to have kids.
Yeah.
Well, we can, but we can't.
Right.
Who's Michael Jordan of the relationship and who's the role player? It depends. It
Right.
depends on what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm really good at some things. He's really good at some things. So, like, I'm really good at like finances and stuff like that. I'm able to get us organized in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you're really good at other things. All right,
It's like best friends, supposed, as we should be. Shoot, you shouldn't date somebody you're not friends with.
I agree. I think that's how relationships
even
get
like
ruined.
in general, why would you hang with somebody all the time and they ain't even your friend? That's a terrible recipe. It's a recipe for disaster.
I think even whenever we had first started dating, like people would complain to me about their partners, and people would complain to you about their partners, and we could never relate. 'Cause
No,
we're like we like hanging
my
out
advice
with
is
each other.
leave. Y'all don't get along, break up. Like, what you talking about? What y'all about to stay together if y'all don't get along for? That's stupid.
Yeah.
Because then you look for a friend elsewhere. So why be together? I went to atheism. That's common.
Went to atheism, started researching quantum physics.
Mhm.
I love that kind of
Yup.
talk. Metaphysics, quantum physics.
That's what my cousin Tay told me to get into quantum physics.
Yeah, we are the universe. We really are. If you think about everything, even the things that we can't see or things that appear to be solid, right? Like this. If you put it underneath a microscope, all it is energy. It's molecules and atoms going either really slow or really fast. And that's all anything is comprised of.
That's what the Kabbalion talks about. It was like the example of a spinning top. You spin it and you see it doing this. And imagine it going faster and faster to where it now begins to vibrate. Now it begins to light up because it's the friction is so high.
Yeah.
Then it gets so bright you can't look at it. It's so fast that boosh, it's like that.
Yeah.
He was like, that's all energy is around us at different speeds.
Yes.
Solid, liquid, and gas. It's all moving at different frequencies, different vibrations. Yeah. And we can only see 4% of what's around us. That's another
4%.
thing.
That's
but
insane.
you feel energy. Like, you ever met somebody and they give you bad vibes? They not doing nothing exactly, but it's something around them you don't physically see, but you feel like something ain't right.
Even just places. Some places just feel so off, you know?
Yeah.
Let me see. Do y'all notice how most people act like God doesn't exist, but in the same breath want to use God to control other people?
Like, it's like sick in a
Interesting.
pit bull.
I have listened to y'all's critical breakdowns, and to me, I see why the scripture says, out of the mouth of babes. I appreciate this channel, you guys being significantly younger than... Oh, thank you. Age is really just a number. Who knows how old we really are?
Right.
Date generations, the most here in Atlanta, Georgia. Also, oh, data generators. Did you know they have 3 companies here making drones? No, I did not know that.
Surprised. That's dope.
Get into anatomy, DNA, all your questions will be answered. I think that's a cool path to go down. Love JW Skip. Thank you, Tin.
And yep,
energy can't be destroyed.
you can't. Only moved.
Dang, we've been on here for over an hour already. That's insane.
Yep.
Y'all are so dope. Thank you so much for tuning in, y'all.
Yep.
68 people. I'm surprised.
And we'll post this too.
Yeah. The organization betrayed dating and marriage is wrong and also a good thing. Who
Right.
won, Kendrick or Drake? Kendrick!
Here's my thing. If you are somebody that paints and you want to see who's the best painter between you and another person, and you paint yours and 10 people help me paint my picture, I lost.
I'm sorry, Drake is a plant.
Yeah, like, you can't, when it comes to music, especially rap, if somebody else is writing your music for you, you disqualified. You cannot consider yourself a great rapper if somebody else is doing it for you. You can't have a ghostwriter. So that's it. That's cheating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love your
It's a
JW
delight.
skits as well, brother. Let me hold a dog.
We got to bring him back. He been
I
on
know.
vacation.
And brother, you heard me.
Yeah, both getting paid by the enemy. All Hollywood is fake.
Everything is fake. All this
Yeah.
stuff is an illusion. I just seen a thing the other day about diamonds and how diamonds became like a thing for marriage. It was one of the most frequently found gemstones, and because they had such an oversupply of it, they had to market it in a way to make people feel like it was necessary. And if you're in a relationship and they don't buy you a diamond, then they don't really love you. And so they paid different people like Marilyn Monroe, like, oh, diamonds are a girl's best friend and all these things. And they created this scarcity with diamonds, so that made the value go up. And now 100 years later, diamonds is like that's what you go to when you get married, you know?
Status symbol. A lot of stuff they can convince you is valuable is not. Like, even
None of that
different
stuff is
brands,
valuable.
like they can convince you that you have to support this brand like Louis Vuitton. This is what's cool. This is what you gotta have. And it's like, well, this person is already rich. That dude over there trying to start a brand, I value his stuff. But everybody would look at me crazy like, no, who is this? This is a nobody. This is a somebody. Who's to say he's not? This person over here is a nobody. They just have a lot of paper.
Yep.
Or digits in the account.
Paper.
That's all it is paper, because they used to trade gold.
Yeah.
And to have control, they switched gold from these coins and pieces of paper and saying, this is worth this. And this is how fake money is. $1 used to be able to buy you multiple bags of chips. Now they go, no, this is the same dollar, but now you can't do that. Now it's only worth this. Well, who are you to say so?
No, let's take it a step further. Things that grow in nature, herbs like cilantro and rosemary. If you get them pre-packaged to where you don't have to do the work, they're like $4 for a small package of rosemary. It costs $2 to grow it outside, and it comes from the earth.
Yup.
And yet we've been conditioned to think we have to go to the grocery store and pay for this, and that's what we do because it's the norm.
It's the norm. And if you don't pay for it, it's stealing. You stole it.
Oh, I'm so over it.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of stuff. That's some deeper stuff we'll get into.
Yeah, you guys are getting a glimpse into our daily conversations.
For real. We try to stick to the JW content, but we are always gonna kind of stick to that, or at least plan on it. But we're gonna also talk about stuff like this too, because yeah, we start off with the XJW thing, but we start to expand and learn so much more after leaving this call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melanin is the highest currency. Period.
Like the myth of wearing a white wedding gown
Represents
represents purity.
Yeah,
Right.
none of that stuff is real, but
No.
you buy into somebody's vision, and it's just about people being really good marketers at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's it. But you don't have to listen to this stuff.
That's why they say that 95% of people are controllable
Yep.
and controlled.
I forgot about. No, I ain't too young. I remember Tommy Hill. I grew up in the 90s. Tommy Hilfiger was a thing. Tommy Hilfiger and Cake Swiss. Then you had Carl Canal jeans. Not Ken Nicole. What's my man's name? Eddie Bauer. I remember all of that era.
He's a real old soul. We were just talking about that today.
Yeah. That's your dog. Yes, it's him. He won't stop running and jumping and growling. We about to get off of here
Yeah.
in 3 minutes at 8:15. Any last questions
Let us know.
before we shut it down? We're gonna post this too.
That was it's been a super dope live. Thank you guys for being
real.
so interactive.
It got up to like 70 something too. That's crazy. Yep, Nautica.
All of that.
Yep.
Y'all are so dope. I'm glad y'all made it out. Most of my immediate family are JWs. Yeah,
Weird.
it does feel
It
weird.
feels so fake. Like I remember us going to my aunt's house after we woke up, but they didn't know we was woke up. And just the laughs and the energy was just so forced. Like it feel like everybody is just bottling in who they are and just putting on this acceptable persona. And this, I just stepped out like, you know what? Hey, this what I'm on. If y'all don't like it, then oh well.
Something about him is that he loves people just being rawly who they are, whoever it is that they are. Like,
Do that.
Yeah.
Because why we pretending for? Like, life too short. I remember Tommy Hilfiger getting that backlash.
he didn't design for black folks.
I remember that happening.
That's actually a lot of those
I learned that.
designer people.
I learned that from Gabe and Mickey across the street. They didn't wear Tommy Hilfiger, and it's because Miss Mercedes he had said that like he didn't make stuff for like blacks and Hispanics.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't buy them Tommy Hilfiger. Yup. So
Period. Love the collab you did with the JW Thoughts a few weeks ago. Plan to do any more collabs soon? Maybe.
Yup.
Did the memorial ever feel yes, because it is weird. The
Yes.
memorial is weird and dark. Actually, if you haven't checked out our video on the memorial that we made last year, not the one from this year, but last year, definitely go check it out because we kind of went a little bit deeper into like the timing of things and how they use like
Astrology
blood
and things
astrology.
like that. Yep.
Yeah.
2-minute countdown.
And
Any last
I
ones?
also would like to say that light and dark, this is going to be a whole other rabbit hole that we'll go into in another day, but light and dark does not necessarily mean good or bad. Like, it's just the polarities of life. Everything is like a balancing act and balancing situation. We won't even go into the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
You'll
that's
get
a
me
deep
on a tangent.
Right.
Tommy tried to walk it back. Too late, though.
We heard you, Tommy.
It's crazy how the JW tried to break y'all up. I know they was jealous of y'all.
Jehovah, the organization is jealous of anybody who's living life without them. No matter what you do, oh, he started a business, but
And
it
people
ain't
who they
gonna
can't
work.
control.
Or they think they happy, it ain't gonna work. Anything, he started a music career, but Jehovah gonna show him. Like, they just, anything that's outside of them, they want it to fail. They can't wait for you to crawl back, but ain't nobody on that.
Shout out to you, Shantae, for finding out some stuff about the memorial through us.
Man, thank you.
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. And that's what I mean. Like, the more knowledge you start absorbing, you start seeing, like, why people use certain tactics because they're powerful. So use them for yourself. I don't know. Y'all weren't meant to stay in the cult. You were there to learn it. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Your personalities and minds are too big to be boxed in by a goofy cult. We actually appreciate our experience of being in that religion because at the end of the day, we would have never met. And also, we wouldn't have this platform to talk to you guys. And maybe we wouldn't have never, like, woke up and been able to expand our minds.
Yeah, it is. It's hella racist.
I think we're ready to hop off. I wonder what kind of wine they buy for the memorial. I know, right? Bitter, nasty.
They drink Wild Irish Rose.
You're silly.
E
and J. She said
weak.
Kat, you're funny. Your comments be cracking us up.
Yeah, the cheapest wine they can.
What kind of nurse am I? I started off as a tele nurse, but I'm currently like an internal travel nurse. I can kind of do it all. I've done rehab, I've done ER, I've done tele, I've done PCU, med surg, I've done it all. Except for ICU, I haven't done that. Love y'all and stay safe.
Hey, we thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you guys. We're about to hop off of here. It's been over an hour. We've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. But we'll definitely do this again. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate y'all for coming out, supporting us. We're going to have to make this a regular thing, at least a few times a month.
Yeah, maybe twice a month or something like that.
Hey, much peace and love to all y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend.
Love y'all. Peace.